we have to set up a perimeter around our culture. We cannot let any old body come into, because that's the problem with blacks and Hispanics. We too damn nice. And anybody that comes along, we don't recognize them as an outsider. We let them in our culture. They generate millions and billions of dollars. They suck it out of our communities. And let me tell you something, it's not just Akon. It's that disgusting African on the block from your house and that own his shop.
It's the Africans that own all the Kennedy Fried Chicken.
Damn right.
When the hell did that happen?
Right. When did that happen? These African.
I don't trust no African touching my chicken. Like, what the hell?
Right. Now, if you need a lesson on how Africans should be treated, if you need a lesson in the type of perimeter we have to set up around our culture, then let the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana give you that lesson. And we're going to show a video any black or Hispanic who is unsure on how an African should be treated when he comes to partake in our cultural events. Let's get that up on the screen.
My brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me? If I bring my brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me? If I bring my brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me?
Damn right.
No.
Headshot.
Absolutely not.
Yo, listen. And if you got a problem with that, you can leave a comment. Oh, we got the phone lines open or no? All right, leave a comment. So leave a comment if you got a problem with that, or if you agree with it. Leave a comment about it. We ain't feeding no Africans because there's too many niggas starving in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Queens, and all over the place, and in Compton, and in Miami. And there's too many brothers starving and messed up. We ain't feeding no stinking, disgusting, filthy little African. I don't care if he's a child or not. What about Tamir Rice? What happened to Tamir Rice? Tamir Rice was that same age when the cops killed him.
Damn right.
So we should feed him? Get the fuck, man, get out of here. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, man. Had Captain Tazariak been working down that D block, when they brought Akon in and said, hey, Styles P, could you do a song with my little African friend here? Cap would have said, no. No.
Headshot.
And this is the lesson that we need to understand, man. Take the lessons from the priest and prophet in the ISUPK. Take the lessons from Captain Tazariak and Commander General Yohana. Whenever an outsider comes to join along in your cultural events, whenever an outsider comes along in order to be involved in what we're doing, get involved in black people's business, you don't got to be rude. You don't got to be outrageously crazy. Just say no. And we do that every year at our. The other night we kicked the whole African family out, right? Yeah. A whole family, the mother, the father, auntie, grandma, she came with gumbo. No, y'all got to go.
Sucker.
She ain't come with gumbo. She came with
gumbo. We don't know what that was. She said it was gumbo. You don't know what that shit could have been. Raccoon and some possum and some skunk. I don't know what she had in that pot.
But he's African.
Yeah.
We a little different when it comes to stage presence. Now in America, them niggas gonna be wobbling, pants hanging half down, bored as hell, half to sleep because they high as hell on stage.
Yeah.
But Africa, we wake up morning, like look at these YouTube clips of all these kids from Uganda and how they be, you know what I'm saying? Like these kids are performers. So for us, it comes natural.
Listen, Akon is a culture vulture who made a living off of mimicking black culture and marketing back to black people, no different than Eminem, DJ Khaled, or any run-of-the-mill Chinese restaurant owner you'll find in your neighborhood. And the reason why Akon is able to make such a clear distinction between Negroes here in America and his African kinsmen is because he's well aware of the fact that Negroes in America are not African, nor are we of African descent. All people on the planet today must find their origins in one of Noah's 3 sons. And if we take a look in the Bible dictionary at his son Ham, it clearly shows us that Ham is the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians who are African, the Ethiopians who are African, the Libyans who are African, and the Canaanites who are African. I repeat, not the Negroes, because the Negroes are not African. The Negroes are not of the line of Ham. We, the Negroes, are of the line of Shem. We are not Africans. We are Israelites. And Akon's ancestors hunted, captured, and sold our ancestors into slavery. Listen, I have no issue with Akon wanting to love his people and uplift his people. That's perfectly fine. But the very moment you begin to dare think that some Ugandan bush baby has a better stage presence than any black or Hispanic, you might as well take that voodoo dust back to your witch doctor, because they sold you a bad batch.
From Westworld, let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon'.
But he's African.
Yeah.
His hell half like so.
Who made a living off of mimicking black culture and marketing back to black people, no different than Eminem, DJ Khaled, or any run-of-the-mill Chinese restaurant owner you'll find in your neighborhood. And the reason why Akon is able to make such a clear distinction between Negroes here in America and his African kinsmen is because he's well aware of the fact that Negroes in America are not African, nor are we of African descent. All people on the planet today must find their origins in one of Noah's 3 sons. And if we take a look in the Bible dictionary at his son Ham, it clearly shows us that Ham is the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians who are African, the Ethiopians who are African, the Libyans who are African, and the Canaanites who are African. I repeat, not the Negroes, because the Negroes are not African. The Negroes are not of the line of Ham. We, the Negroes, are of the line of Shem. We are not Africans. We are Israelites. And Akon's ancestors hunted, captured, and sold our ancestors into slavery. Listen, I have no issue with Akon wanting to love his people and uplift his people. That's perfectly fine. But the very moment you begin to dare think that some Ugandan bush baby has a better stage presence than any black or Hispanic, you might as well take that voodoo dust back to your witch doctor, because they sold you a bad batch.
We have to set up a perimeter around our culture. We cannot let any old body come into, because that's the problem with blacks and Hispanics. We too damn nice. And anybody that comes along, you know, we don't recognize them as an outsider. We let them in our culture. They generate millions and billions of dollars. They suck it out of our communities. And let me tell you something. It's not just Akon. It's that disgusting African on the block from your house and that own his shop.
It's the Africans that own all the Kennedy Fried Chicken.
Damn right.
When the hell did that happen?
Right. When did that happen?
Like,
These African.
I don't trust no African touching my chicken. Like, what the hell?
Right. Now, if you need a lesson on how Africans should be treated, if you need a lesson in the type of perimeter we have to set up around our culture, then let the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana give you that lesson. And we're going to say any black or Hispanic who is unsure on how an African should be treated when he comes to partake in our cultural events. Let's get that up on the screen.
My brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me? If I bring my brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me? If I bring my brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, Can he get in with me?
Damn right.
No.
Absolutely not.
Yo, listen. And if you got a problem with that, you can leave a comment. Oh, we got the phone lines open or no? All right, leave a comment. You know, so leave a comment if you got a problem with that, or if you agree with it. Leave a comment about it. We ain't feeding no Africans because there's too many niggas starving in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Queens, and all over the place, and in Compton, and in Miami, and there's too many brothers starving and messed up. We ain't feeding no stinking, disgusting, filthy little African. I don't care if he's a child or not. What about Tamir Rice? What happened to Tamir Rice? Tamir Rice was that same age when the cops killed him.
Damn right.
So we should feed him? Man, get the fuck, man, get out of here. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, man. Had Captain Tazariak been working down that D block, when they brought Akon in and said, "Hey, Styles P, could you do a song with my little African friend here?" Cap would have said, "No." No.
Headshot.
And this is the lesson that we need to understand, man. Take the lessons from the priest and prophet in the ISUPK. Take the lessons from Captain Tazariak and Commander General Yohana. Whenever an outsider comes to join along in your cultural events, whenever an outsider comes along in order to be involved in what we're doing, get involved in black people's business, you don't got to be rude. You don't got to be outrageously culture. We cannot let any old body come into, because that's the problem with blacks and Hispanics. We too damn nice. And anybody that comes along, you know, we don't recognize them as an outsider. We let them in our culture. They generate millions and billions of dollars. They suck it out of our communities. And let me tell you something. It's not just Akon. It's that disgusting African off the block from your house and that own his shop.
It's the Africans that own all the Kennedy Fried Chicken.
Damn right.
When the hell did that happen?
Right. When did that happen? These African.
I don't trust no African touching my chicken. Like, what the hell?
Right. Now, if you need a lesson on how Africans should be treated, if you need a lesson in the type of perimeter we have to set up around our culture, then let the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana give you that lesson. And we're going to say it this way: any black or Hispanic who is unsure on how an African should be treated when he comes to partake in our cultural events. Let's get that up on the screen.
My brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me? If I bring my brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me? If I bring my brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me?
Damn right.
No.
Headshot.
Absolutely not.
Yo, listen. And if you got a problem with that, you can leave a comment. Oh, we got the phone lines open or no? All right, leave a comment. You know, so leave a comment if you got a problem with that, or if you agree with it. Leave a comment about it. We ain't feeding no Africans because there's too many niggas starving in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Queens, and all over the place, and in Compton, and in Miami, and there's too many brothers starving and messed up. We ain't feeding no stinking, disgusting, filthy little African. I don't care if he's a child or not. What about Tamir Rice? What happened to Tamir Rice? Tamir Rice was that same age when the cops killed him.
Damn right.
So we should feed him? Man, get the fuck, man, get out of here. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, man. Had Captain Tazariak been working down that D block, when they brought Akon in and said, "Hey, Styles P, could you do a song with my little African friend here?" Cap would have said, "No." No.
Headshot.
And this is the lesson that we need to understand, man. Take the lessons from the priest and prophet in the ISUPK. Take the lessons from Captain Tazariak and Commander General Yohana. Whenever an outsider comes to join along in your cultural events, whenever an outsider comes along in order to be involved in what we're doing, get involved in black people's business, you don't got to be rude. You don't got to be outrageously crazy. Just say no. And we do that every year at our the other night we kicked the whole African family out, right? Yeah. A whole family, the mother, the father, the auntie, grandma, came with gumbo. No, y'all got to go.
She ain't come with gumbo. She came with
Gumbo. We don't know what that was.
fufu.
She said it was gumbo. You don't know what that shit could have been. Raccoon and some possum and some skunk. I don't know what she had in that pot.
Shalom, Yabashim Yashabaka Thumb to the brothers, Yahshua Thun, Bahashim Yashah to the sisters. Once again, this is Priest and Officer Harya Allah, the melted of the Most High. Right here, once again, in ISUPK headquarters in Harlem, New York. Tuesday night brotherhood class. Clap it up. Yeah, you know how it goes down. I'm back. Slacking. Slut. Once again, we're in the building for Tuesday night brotherhood class. Y'all know how we do, man. Brotherhood is one of the, if not the most important class that we get going here in the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana, right here in Harlem, New York, ISUPK headquarters, man. Ooh, how we love brotherhood. We learn here in the ISUPK from day one, the very moment we step in the door, we learn that brotherhood is a weapon. Give me a one in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. We learned that brotherhood is most certainly a weapon. And if you tuned in for last week's class, if you did not, please go on to ISUPK headquarters. Watch, like, share, subscribe, and comment. We spoke about the importance of brotherhood, and we gave specific examples of how when we weaponize brotherhood, we all begin to move in the direction of righteousness, as well as move for the betterment of our nation as a whole. Weaponizing brotherhood and being able to use it as a weapon is one of the most valuable lessons we learn here in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. Last week, we were able to give specific instructions and specific examples of how brotherhood can be weaponized in order to not only keep Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans tight, here in this land, while we're here in our captivity, but also how to not make us look like complete idiots to the other nations who are around us and looking to take advantage of us. Both of these things are important, man. Brotherhood is most certainly a weapon. And when we learn to weaponize brotherhood, like any good weapon, you'll learn both offensive techniques as well as defensive techniques when weaponizing brotherhood. Last week, we were able to go over some examples of how to use brotherhood offensively. We just played a video that shows the importance and also shows our very own Captain Tazari. I'll give him a hand. Captain of 13,000 in the ISUPK. We're able to show how in a specific example many years ago, an example that went viral on the internet, they attempted to expose Captain Tazariak for not feeding an African kid at one of the ISUPK barbecues or cookouts, Salakia. And so many people spoke about this, about Captain Tazariak not feeding the African. And Barakatah Yahweh Yahawashah, that since 1969 until this very day, our bedrock policy here in the ISUPK is that we don't feed goddamn Africans. You can send your goddamn 2 cents a day in them disgusting goddamn charities if you want and feed goddamn Africans. Here in the ISUPK, we do not have the resources to spare for Africans. Every single goddamn thing we have has to go to fix blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. It's proof of how dire our situation is in America. We don't feed Africans. Believe that. And this example that the captain is able to show is how to use brotherhood defensively. So I'm going to run this video back real quick so we can get a better look. We have to set up a perimeter around our culture. We cannot let any old body come into, because that's the problem with blacks and Hispanics. We too damn nice. And anybody that comes along, you know, we don't recognize them as an outsider. We let them in our culture. They generate millions and billions of dollars. They suck it out of our communities. And let me tell you something, it's not just Akon. It's that disgusting African on the block from your house and that own his shop.
It's the Africans that own all the Kennedy Fried Chicken.
Damn right.
When the hell did that happen?
Right. When did that happen? Like, these African.
I don't trust no African touching my chicken. Like, what the hell?
Right. Now, if you need a lesson on how Africans should be treated, if you need a lesson in the type of perimeter we have to set up around our culture, then let the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana give you that lesson. And we're going to show any black or Hispanic who is unsure on how an African should be treated when he comes to partake in our cultural events. Let's get that up on the screen.
My brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me? If I bring my brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me? If I bring my brother, this is my little brother. If I bring my brother with me to the cookout, can he get in with me?
Damn right.
No.
Headshot.
Absolutely not.
Yo, listen. And if you got a problem with that, you can leave a comment. Oh, we got the phone lines open or no? All right, leave a comment. You know, so leave a comment if you got a problem with that, or if you agree with it. Leave a comment about it. We ain't feeding no Africans because there's too many niggas starving in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Queens, and all over the place, and in Compton, and in Miami, and there's too many brothers starving and messed up. We ain't feeding no stinking, disgusting, filthy little African. I don't care if he's a child or not. What about Tamir Rice? What happened to Tamir Rice? Tamir Rice was that same age when the cops killed him.
Damn right.
So we should feed him? But get the fuck, get out of here. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, man. Had Captain Tazariak been working down that D block, when they brought Akon in and said, "Hey, Styles P, could you do a song with my little African friend here?" Cap would have said, "No." No.
Headshot.
And this is the lesson that we need to understand, man. Take the lessons from the priest and prophet in the ISUPK. Take the lessons from Captain Tazariak and Commander General Yohana. Whenever an outsider comes to join along in your cultural events, whenever an outsider comes along in order to be involved, Damn right, damn right. Get the cast and let it be known to him. Right there. The boys is on fire. Listen, man. Damn right. Give Captain Tazariak a hand. That's definitely how you give it up, man. That is a prime example of how you use brotherhood defensively. It's important that we're able to set up a perimeter around our culture. This is something that the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana prides ourselves on. We are able to revert back to the culture of our forefathers, the prophets of God. When you see a priest and prophet in this school, what you are looking at is you are looking at the culture of your people. You are looking at a culture that is heavily protected. We don't commercialize our history and our culture. That is something for our people. We set up a perimeter around our culture. Let me go ahead and get 1 John. 1 John 4:19. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 19. We love him because he first loved us. We love the Lord because he first loved us. He first loved us. This is a concept that's very important. As Israelites, we need to take on the attributes of our Father in heaven. Our Father in heaven, the Most High God, first loved us. We should first love him and us. That's what you see Captain Tazariak doing in that video. He was first loving us. Not one goddamn chicken drumstick can be spared for an African. We have to first love us. The same way the Most High God first loved us. Verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hated his brother, he is a liar. Say it again. He is a liar. Say it again. He is a liar. It is impossible for you to love the Most High God, our power, and not love your brothers. And what is this love? What is this love we speaking about? You will cut out little hearts and send them to all your goddamn brothers? A goddamn Hallmark card? What is this love we're talking about? Here in America, we might have a twisted understanding of what love is. We live amongst a sick oppressor. There's many different ways he interprets love. On my way over here to the goddamn school, I saw two of them on the bench loving each other. Don't take his goddamn definition of love. According to the Bible, love is an action. The same goddamn action that you saw Captain Tazariak taking in the goddamn video. The action of protecting your brothers. That is love. Keep going. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love the power whom he hath not seen? That is a deep question to ponder. That is a deep question to ponder. These goddamn Christians Barakatah Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah for the ISUPK, the Commander General Yohana, and the brothers from headquarters, man, Precinct Officer Hazahab, give him a hand. God damn, man. Who else was out there? Precinct Officer Sharkaban. We might have to show that video. But yesterday, man, like we always do, the brothers set up, food for the community. We are in the goddamn streets of Harlem. We don't operate here in Harlem without taking care of our goddamn people. How can we possibly love the Most High, who we have not seen, and walk over the goddamn starving brother outside of the goddamn school? Your Christian pastor will do a goddamn monster truck roll over the poor and homeless to get to his goddamn pulpit. Your Christian pastor hates the poor. Why? Because they don't have 10% to give him. That Catholic priest hates the poor. Here in the ISUPK, man, we serve the Lord. And we serve our communities. We outside in these streets, man. Big shout out to those brothers putting in the work of the Lord, man. Under Commander General Yohana, of course. It's important, man, that when we weaponize brotherhood, we do exactly what we just read in the scriptures. We are able to love our brothers who we see. That is the love of the Most High, man. Your Christian pastor hates the Most High. Your Christian pastor hates his brothers. Your Christian pastor cannot stand his brothers, and at the very chance he get, your Christian pastor is going to move out of Harlem and over where goddamn TD Jakes live, and never step his goddamn foot in Harlem again, except for some sort of political gain. It's a horrible thing, man. If you notice the title of tonight's class, it is Hair, the Other White Meat. Are we talking about pork? No, we are not. We are talking about Kam in the Hebrew, or Ham, which refers to the father of the dark races. That goddamn African that show up at your house at 3 o'clock in the goddamn morning every night with that Uber Eats package is a son of Ham. That goddamn African that is convincing your grandmother to give him every goddamn credit card number she can find over the phone so he could rob her of every goddamn dime in her pension, he is the son of Ham. That goddamn black man around the corner here in Harlem, who has devoted his life to reading hieroglyphics and learning every goddamn thing about every goddamn pharaoh in Egypt, he is not the son of Ham. He is your brother who you need to love when you see. He's the brother who you need to weaponize brotherhood and bring him out of that madness. But I assure you, the group of men standing outside his office that he walks out to and says shalom alaikum to, they're the sons of Ham. We are not the sons of Ham. And this is easily seen in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. We pull it for you every goddamn week. You know? It's like, goddamn, the ISUPK pulls out the definition of ham out of the Zondervan at least once a week, every goddamn day. If you think about all the schools nationwide. And it seems like every goddamn time we pull it out, you go out and buy another goddamn dashiki. We're not African. And the Zondervan shows it. Let me get that for you. It's ridiculous, man. Let me get this up on the screen. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races. What is that, the progenitor? What is that? He's the father of the dark races. You know? He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. Stop! Just stop! Africans are dark. Real dark. I've seen some goddamn real dark. We're dark. There's some brothers out here that's goddamn dark. Every goddamn ghetto in the United States got a nigga named Black. He's dark. What up, Black? Go to any block and just ask for Black. A dark-skinned nigga gonna come out. Slock you. We're both dark. That's why the dictionary is making a distinction here. It's letting you know that Ham is the progenitor of the dark races. There's one dark race that he's not the progenitor of. Who is it? Not the Negroes. Who are the Negroes? Who are the Negroes? But the Egyptians, they are African. The Ethiopians, they are African. The Libyans, they are African. And the Canaanites, they also are Africans. All these Africans live among us, man. All these Africans live among us, man. And it's important that we understand that throughout history, we've always been mistaken for Africans because we're dark like Africans. You know? We could read where Paul was mistaken for an African. Let me pull that up. Slack here. We get Acts 21. It's important, man. Throughout our history, we have always been mistaken for Africans. And so for this very purpose, with regards to our identity sometimes when it comes to other nations, they might think we're Africans. You know? Slocky, let me get this real quick. This is Acts 21-38. We'll start at 37. Acts 21-37. And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who said, Canst thou speak Greek? So Paul spoke to him, and he was shocked that he spoke Greek. Verse 38. Art not thou that Egyptian, which before these days madeth an uproar, and leddest out unto the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers? Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian, because obviously the Egyptians are black, and Paul is black. A lot of times we're mistaken for Africans. It happens, especially to the untrained eye. You know? Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah for Commander General Yohana. I watched the video a few nights ago, you know, where I guess a guest came on and spoke with him. And through his trained eye, he was able to immediately notice that this was an African. You know, a lot of us, it may not be that simple sometimes. I had a brother ask me, you know, hey, yo, I was searching through my wife's records. You know, I found some things. She might be African. You know, how do I tell? Simple. Just take out to 116th Street, get a big pot, put some water in it. You walk down to 110th Street. Then call her and tell her to walk down to 110th, balancing the goddamn pot without using her hands. If she makes it down to 110th without spilling one goddamn drop of water, God damn it, she's an African. Get rid of her. Sloppy, now I'm joking. Don't get rid of her. But, you know, a lot of times you have to have a trained eye to know who's your people and who's not your people. Blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians, we have a certain spirit about us. Anytime I'm in the company of a Hamite, I just, you know, it's not the same vibe. You know, we are completely different people. And it's important we know that, man. And there's been a significant amount of times in which, you know, Christ, for example, you know, his parents hid him in Egypt when they were looking to kill him. It's a lot of times that we've been able to blend in with Africans in order for us to save ourselves. Not today, goddammit. Today, us blending in with Africans is to the absolute detriment of our community and our culture. You know, to the absolute detriment of our community and culture. Hold on, let me throw a slide. Fucking trains was crazy. But we won't lie. Huh? We'll lie. It's like you. All right, man, clap it up. We got Precinct Officer Shaw in the building. Give him a hand. So, yeah, man. We're going to go to, we're going to go to 1 Corinthians 13. 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 1 Corinthians 13 Let me go to Deuteronomy 28 real quick. We'll go to verse 68. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Most High thy power shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Into Egypt again. You know? Now we know the word for Egypt, the word for the land in which they call Egypt is called many different things. People call it Kemet, Israel, you know, whatever. This specific name, Egypt, is synonymous with bondage. It is synonymous with bondage. And we can get that in Exodus 20. And we'll begin at verse 1, Exodus 20 and 1. And the power spake these words, saying, verse 2, I am the Most High thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Out of the what? The house of bondage. Out of what land? The land of Egypt, which is known as what? The house of bondage. Egypt is a goddamn house of bondage. The United States of America is spiritually Egypt as well. This is the goddamn house of bondage. This is the house of bondage. How do we know it's the house of bondage? Because just like Egypt, every time you come out of your goddamn building, you see nothing but Africans. They're everywhere. They've multiplied in ways and consolidated to take over industries the same way every disgusting heathen comes over here and does in our goddamn neighborhoods. It's the house of bondage, man. Back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold. Ye shall be what? Sold. Ye shall be what? Sold. We were sold. We were sold. Who were we sold to? Unto your enemies. Goddamn right. We were sold unto our enemies. So we know this is the spiritual land of Egypt. We know we came over here on slave ships. We know that this verse is predicting a global event that no man can deny. The transatlantic slave trade. But we don't know who sold us. We don't know who sold us. You leave it up to the white man. And he'll have you thinking that our oppressor rolled up on the shores of Africa and it was a big goddamn game of freeze tag, and any black person he saw, he just grabbed and put him on a goddamn ship. That's not what happened. A more accurate depiction is that the goddamn Wakandans invaded our neighborhoods, invaded our communities, invaded our kingdom in Africa, and kidnapped us and sold us to the goddamn white man. Concept.
Slock, if I may, what you bringing out is so heavy. We all know Alex Haley Roots, right? The first series from back in the 80s. They didn't show you how the Africans came into our land and stole us.
Right.
But the remake of Roots, which is currently on Hulu, the remake of Roots, the newer version, they show how the Africans came into our villages in the West Coast. They kidnapped us. That's what makes it so.
They show that?
Absolutely. They showed the Africans stealing the so-called Negroes and bringing them to the shore. So that's why the second the second version of Roots, this newer version, is hardcore. Like they showed, they showed stuff that the original Roots didn't show. You understand? Which proves that what we've been saying since 1969 is the truth.
Damn right.
You understand? The Africans came to the West Coast and our villages, you understand, to Valley and Mana, stole us and brought us to the shores where the white man was waiting, because the white man never went into Africa. Right. But that movie shows that the second version of Roots, which is on currently, should still be on Hulu.
Hey, yo, get an officer ahead, man. I'm watching that. I'm putting that on the agenda to watch that, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if they do accurately depict it, and you want to know something? I'm pretty sure they do.
Right.
That's the boldness of our oppressor.
Right.
You just give him a few years, he'll come out and expose every goddamn thing. Goddamn right, we were kidnapped by Africans.
Right.
It was a scary and horrible thing, I'm sure. I don't know what would be worse. The goddamn Klan or getting kidnapped by goddamn Shaka Zulu.
Right.
These Africans kidnapped our people, man, and then marched us to the goddamn shore. Like, that march could be as equally horrible as the goddamn boat ride to America.
Right.
It was a horrible thing, man. And we consistently see today that being mistaken for Ham is a horrible thing. Being mistaken for Ham helped us in certain ways during biblical times.
Right.
But when Ham comes over to America, when Africans come over to America today, do they in any way, shape, or form want to be mistaken for us? Like, think about that for a second. Do Africans want to be mistaken for you? Absolutely not. Africans don't want nothing to do with you. And under no circumstances should we want anything to do with them.
Right.
We are completely different people, us from Africans. Slovakia. And the sooner we realize that, man, the sooner we realize that, it's us taking one step closer to us gathering ourselves together, improving our superiority over Africans. Like, Africans are horrible people.
Right.
Like, if you look at that goddamn, what's that Don Cheadle film? Rwanda, Hotel Rwanda. You look at that goddamn Hotel Rwanda. Like, I mean, black people tear some stuff up when they mad. We don't give it up like that. They chopped up half the whole goddamn country with machetes. We're completely different people. Concept.
If I may, I don't know if you brought the scripture yet, but a precept to what you're saying, if I may, Exodus chapter 11, verse 7.
Let's get that.
Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast.
Right.
That he may know that the Lord put a difference between Egyptians and Israel.
Say it again. The Lord did what?
That the Lord doeth put a difference between Egyptians and Israel.
Say it again.
That the Lord doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Goddamn right. The Most High put a difference between his chosen people and goddamn Africans.
Right.
We're not Africans. if you spend just an hour around the African, you will immediately realize that we're not the same goddamn people. I mean, goddamn. Many years ago when I was in the world, I used to date an African. I went over her house one day. I'm looking for the toilet paper. The goddamn toilet paper is in the cupboard over the stove. I go in the bathroom, she got the goddamn pots in the tub. We're not the same people.
Right.
Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 1.
Right. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land, whither they goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee.
When you go into your land and you cast out these disgusting Africans, keep going.
The Hittites,
Right.
and the Girgashites,
Right.
and the Amorites,
Right.
and the Canaanites,
Right.
and the Perizzites,
Right.
and the Hivites,
Keep going.
and the Jebusites.
Keep going.
7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Goddamn right. Drop down to verse 3.
Verse 3. Slap it if I may.
Mhm.
Verse 2.
So, concept.
And the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee.
Right.
Thou shalt smite them
Right.
and utterly destroy them.
No, I want you to live among them.
Utterly destroy them.
No, I want you to put on their goddamn dashikis.
Utterly destroy them.
Here's some goddamn open-toe sandals.
Utterly destroy them.
Don't put no goddamn lotion on your ankles.
Utterly destroy them.
Go to the goddamn store around the block that smells like God knows what.
Utterly destroy
They
them.
walk around in them long goddamn dresses with the colorful hats on.
Utterly destroy
I
them.
don't even understand what the goddamn Uber driver is saying.
Utterly destroy them.
They're supposed to be utterly destroyed.
Right.
They're not supposed to live among us. They goddamn Africans. Keep going.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Say it again.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Styles P, don't do that goddamn song with Akon. Say it again.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
You can't open up a goddamn business with a Nigerian for a call center. Say it again.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Don't give them your goddamn credit card numbers. Say it again.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Don't make one goddamn agreement with them. Not one. Keep going.
Nor show mercy unto them.
Don't show them no goddamn mercy. That's why we don't let them in our goddamn cookout.
Right. That's right.
Keep going.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Say it again.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Say it again.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Don't lay down with no disgusting goddamn Hamite.
That's right.
That's not your people.
Right.
It's a goddamn horrible thing, man, when you see a black man and some African woman or African, man with some black woman.
Right.
And y'all black women out there, let me tell you something. You keep chasing after goddamn Matumbo if you want to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like what you're ultimately doing is a lot of times people think that they're reverting back to their ancient culture by getting back into Africanism.
Right.
When you get into Africanism, you getting into Africanism is like trading in your goddamn Bentley for a goddamn Volkswagen Beetle from the 60s. We serve a God far greater than any disgusting goddamn, animal that is worshipped on the continent of Africa.
Right.
Our culture is far richer, far greater, far more civil, far more superior than anything you're going to find from some disgusting African.
Right.
They over there drinking goddamn blood.
Right.
Some of these goddamn black women kill me. Go ahead, sir.
Right. What you're bringing out is so on point. And when nobody talks about how these African foreign students come here to America and pray over the Judite women.
Right.
You understand? They be trying to get in, they be trying to make marriages with the Judite women, take all their money, you understand?
Right.
Take all what they have, you understand? They look at the welfare of what they have.
Right.
Prime example, what's that show? J.J. Evans, Good Time.
Good times.
You know what I'm saying? With that one had eBay, the African.
Right, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
I remember that. Yep. That ain't never, and then that was back in the day too.
Right.
That was back in the day too. Word, man. Some goddamn African, some disgusting African. So the generals bring it out all the time, how coming to America helped to usher in that mentality of you getting a goddamn African prince.
Right.
Let me tell you something, black woman. A homeless, broke, disgusting, drug-diseased black man in the goddamn gutter, living in the sewer, is greater and better in the eyes of God.
That's right.
Than any goddamn prince you can find on the continent of Africa.
Right.
Believe that. You're shopping in the goddamn, layaway section. If you think you're gonna find some damn African. Listen, man. Well, one of the main things that we have to realize is that Africans are not here simply because they want to be here.
Right.
Right. Africans, Arabic people, Asian people, which includes Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Indians. Them goddamn Koreans, forget about it. All of these people are put here for the sole purpose to rob the 12 tribes of Israel, God's chosen people, right. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. That's why they're here. That's why they own the 7-Eleven and we don't. Like, I know some disgusting Christian told you the reason why that was is because we didn't wear enough goddamn suits and ties. We didn't go to enough goddamn colleges for long enough. We didn't speak proper enough. We didn't pull our pants up over our asses fast enough. All of these reasons culminate together as to why we don't own nothing in our communities. Here in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, we happen to find a more practical reason as to why we don't own businesses in our community, and that is because our goddamn enemies come over here and are put in a position by our oppressor to box us out of the economic structure in our own goddamn communities. You see this happen every goddamn step of the way. I mean, goddamn. There was a time in this country during World War II, black men went over there and fought and died. We come back from World War II, go in our neighborhoods, the same goddamn Japanese man we just finished fighting owned all the goddamn cleaners.
Right.
Concert.
And shooting out you in the back of the head.
Right. Damn right. Give him a hand, man. What was that sister's name, man?
Natasha,
yeah, let's get that sister's face on the screen, man. We'll never forget our people.
Natasha Hollins.
Yeah, there she go right there. Let's get her up there, man. This sister right here, man. Glad you brought her out. Damn right.
When she walked out.
This sister right here. Yeah, now hold on. I'm gonna get this picture right here up there.
Natasha Hollins.
Yeah, Hollins with her in the goddamn.
I was thinking about
This happened out in South Central California, right? I wish I could play the video. This disgusting heathen shot this young sister in the back of her goddamn head.
Right.
The video was so shocking. You know? Now, in a strange turn of events, they actually arrested the heathen. And they even went as far as to prosecute her. And for a minute there, black people thought they might just get goddamn justice.
Right.
They gave this disgusting heathen probation, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead, sir.
She walked away with 400 hours of community service, 5 years probation, and a $500 fine.
Damn! Damn! A $500 fine. Like, that's not even enough to cover the goddamn food for the funeral procession.
Right.
Go ahead, sir.
You know, she got shot in the back of the head because the store, this Korean scum thought that she was stealing something.
Right.
But when she was dead, you understand, the money was in her hand. She had the money. She was going to pay.
Damn. Damn. Let me get they hunt out steps. Salakia.
God.
Damn. The name of this class is entitled, Lamentations 4:18. The name of this class is entitled Ham, the Other White Meat.
Right.
Because as we can see, that the sons of Ham conduct themselves in the same ruthless fashion as our goddamn oppressor.
Right.
This is why we can't go back to Africa. Like, you got a lot of our people that think going back to Africa is the solution for black people. You know what I'm saying? Going back to Africa is simply you trading one oppressor for another that ain't got no goddamn toilets.
Right.
Like, you might as well stay with the goddamn oppressor with the goddamn toilet. Going back to no goddamn Africa?
Right.
When we go home, we're going home with our king.
That's right.
Read what you got.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps.
That's why the goddamn Arabic man own every goddamn store in the hood. Why? Say it again.
They hunt our steps.
They hunt our steps. They hunt our goddamn steps. I stay up here and scream long enough, I'll drop goddamn dead from a heart attack from eating like goddamn greasy chicken from goddamn Arabs.
Right.
Keep going.
God, that we cannot go in our streets.
We can't even go in our own goddamn streets. Where we gonna go? We don't own nothing. They own every goddamn thing around us.
Right.
Just walk up and down the block. It's absolutely insane. I watch the goddamn news. All I hear about is the goddamn Jewish man fighting with the Arabic man, the Jewish man fighting with the Arabic man, the Jewish man fighting with the Arabic man. I walk down my goddamn block. All I see is the Chase Bank, the Kennedy Fried Chicken. The Chase Bank, the Kennedy Fried Chicken. I mean, goddamn, they seem to be getting along well in my hood.
Right.
Like Arabs and Jewish people are the best goddamn friends in Harlem. Keep going.
God, our end is near.
Our end is near. Keep going.
Our days are fulfilled.
Our days will be fulfilled.
For our end is come.
Most High in Christ, man. These disgusting nations are here to destroy us.
Right.
They hunt our steps. You know, like you don't gotta be in no goddamn Friday the 13th film for your steps to be hunted.
Right.
We have a collection of nations among us that, although they operate independently, they all work together to destroy God's chosen people. They do it on a financial level. They box us out of all types of businesses.
Right.
Our oppressor puts them in a position in which they can raise themselves above us. A few goddamn years ago, the only job an East Indian could get in the United States is driving a goddamn cab. That was it. Like the very moment they got off the boat, they stepped off the boat and directly into a yellow cab. Nowadays, they are running every single goddamn computer programming operation you can find. Every goddamn telemarketing organization. Don't call no goddamn business. I assure you, a goddamn East Indian's gonna pick up. They can't hear nothing you're saying because their turban is so goddamn big, they can't put the goddamn phone to their ear. They don't understand what the hell is going on. You're oppressing them outside all the goddamn businesses, and so you gotta talk to somebody that don't even understand what the hell you're talking about.
Right.
They'll still make all the goddamn money. They will still make all the money. We go next. Casa, go ahead.
Speaking on East Indians, and again, nobody talks about East Indians and how they the most immigrants. Slapped it. The pace of arrival from India and other non-European countries is of subsequent decades has been rapid. Today, Indians represent the second largest U.S. immigrant group.
Damn!
After Mexicans and they are ahead of Chinese and Filipinos.
Damn! Damn!
Nobody don't talk about that.
And let's look up the population of India. I believe India has the largest population on the planet, but definitely in the top two. Definitely in the top two. 1.408 billion people. You know what I'm saying? These are your future bosses. These are your future bosses. You know? These are your future shop owners. They're coming over here to keep us down, man.
Right.
Our oppressor knows that as long as they're among us, they will continue to dominate industry and business around us.
That's right.
Using our oppressor's help. And that keeps our people in the consumer zone.
Right.
So all we can do is go to work and be slaves, and then every dime we have to spend with our oppressor and our enemies. Let's get that in Deuteronomy.
Right.
Yeah, man. They'll come over here and completely choke us out of business, right? And then you fake black Christian leaders and Christians, period, you know, being the goddamn chumps you are, will sit there and blame goddamn black people.
Right.
And blame black people. You know? This was done to us systematically. Let me get I'm sorry, 60. What do I want? In one of both things.
Let's go ahead.
What's not correct? Now, let's start at verse 47.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Most High thy power with joyness and with gladness of heart.
Say it again.
Because thou servest not the Most High thy power with joyness and with gladness of heart.
Man, that's so important right there.
Right.
That is so important right there, man. Like, do you realize that when we get to the kingdom, like, we're going to serve the Most High with such joyness and gladness of heart? Like, after going through this hell, after serving our oppressor, like, it is such a glorious thing to serve the Most High.
Right.
It is such a glorious thing to serve the Most High. Like black people, like black people will lose their job and have such a sense of relief, you know, like that sense of panic will eventually come. You know what I'm saying? Right. But like after that first initial shock, it's like, damn, I don't have to, like, remember during COVID?
Right.
Like, COVID was like, damn, I don't gotta go work for the white man today.
Right.
And they sent me a goddamn check.
Right.
I can finally go back to working on that goddamn invention. You know, finish writing that goddamn book I've been working on. So I can go ahead, sir.
They were sending checks more than you make.
Right. Damn right. Damn right. They were sending out checks that was more than your goddamn salary.
Right.
During COVID, I did more goddamn traveling than I ever did in my whole goddamn life. Word. That's why we come in here every goddamn Sabbath. It's a break, send evils and curses.
Right.
Send evils and curses. Word. Those evils and curses help black people out. Destroy our enemies and give us a goddamn, you know, a break. Go ahead, sis. Is there going to be more plagues? Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Like, the things that we're seeing are going to continue until the return of our King.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like we're gonna get the weekend off. You know what I mean? It's not like we're gonna wake up one weekend, the earth's gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? Our oppressor's gonna be nice. And then Monday morning, back to oppression. No. Our oppressor gets worse every goddamn day.
That's right.
Go ahead, sir.
God. For the abundance of all things.
Right.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Say it again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Say it again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Every single goddamn day, we are serving our enemies. Every day. You might not think so. You might think, hey, I'm an independent businessman. I just go buy an ounce of goddamn crack every day and sell it to everybody in the goddamn neighborhood. I don't serve no goddamn Arab. Every dime you make by selling crack to your people goes to the goddamn corner store.
Right.
You can't stand in the building without drinking 15 goddamn 40 ounces.
Right.
You gotta get it from the Arabic man. We went over 2 weeks ago how money is an instrument to serve the poor. Your money is an instrument to serve the heathen. Your crack money sends his kids to school to become computer programmers. That way they can create the very software that's going to be used in the correctional institutions to automatically close the goddamn cells. With you inside. Keep going.
God, which the Most High shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
God damn it, I'm hungry right now. Where am I gonna go? Should I go to the Chinese man? The Arabic man? Hey, goddamn, we here in Harlem. Let's go to Sylvia's. Oh, I forgot. That's the the goddamn Chinese man too.
Right.
We're not going to slaughter a cow in goddamn Marcus Garvey Park.
Right.
Every dime you get, you're going to spend with your enemies in want of all things. And that's exactly what Ham is here to do, man. That's exactly what Ham is here to do. Now, as we showed earlier before the class, you know, there was a short documentary style presentation by a young and charismatic priest and prophet who put this together in order to help educate people on the dangers of Hamites. Now, this was put together during the time that little Akon controversy came out. Akon is an African.
Right.
You know? Akon, y'all ever seen that Ace Ventura film, Pet Detective Part 2? Y'all ain't never seen that? There's a part in that film, Tommy Davidson, that's a funny brother. Like they make Ace Ventura think that he gonna fight some big African, and then when they come out with it, it's Tommy Davidson. He's this little African. He's you know what I'm saying? And then he goes to fight him. Akon's that little African. You know what I'm saying? He's like you think the big Africans, like the big Africans is worthless. You know what I'm saying? They can just dunk the ball. The little ones you got to worry about. And Akon's the little African who was able to come over here and smooch his way into the hip hop industry.
Right.
You know? And that's another important factor when I say we have to be able to weaponize brotherhood and use it defensively. We have to set a perimeter around our culture. We can't let no goddamn Akon come over here and make music with us.
Right.
Why? Because he'll take all the money he makes and then go put all this goddamn electricity over in Africa. And the next thing you know, every time you turn on the radio, you don't hear Styles P, you hear goddamn African. That's why you don't make music with Africans. Because the money that goes in the pockets of the black man who's making music is now going to Africans.
Right.
In a few short years, Africa is going to be a goddamn dynasty.
That's right.
You know? And these Africans are getting just this, you know, for lack of better words, just as uppity as they could be. You know what I mean? Like, these Africans is just getting as uppity as they could be. You know? And, you know, it's a horrible thing. What you got over there, sir? Oh, was you ordering something?
I still got more on the verse.
Go ahead.
All right. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
A yoke of iron upon our necks. Go ahead.
Until he have destroyed you.
And we are certainly destroyed. We are certainly destroyed. Today we are more destroyed than we was, you know, when we got out of slavery. So let's get a little bit on this. Just one more time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
Right after slavery, everybody was together. Hey, you come to my house, say me every morning.
Right.
Don't worry, I got the kids and stuff like that.
Right.
He was very outspoken. You were family with too much. You don't know no more.
Damn right. Give her a hand, man. Right. You ain't never lied, man. When we came out of slavery, you know, we was all we had. And we stuck together, man. And from that time, we was able to build and come up with such great and amazing things. Man, we'll do a class on Black inventors, just so you know we can highlight some of the great inventions. Like we'll do a class on great inventors, and then eliminate all those inventions from society, and our oppressors back in the goddamn cave.
Right.
Our oppressors right back in the goddamn cave. We invented all of this stuff, man.
Right.
So let's check this out real quick.
Culture vulture who made a living off of mimicking black culture and marketing back to black people, no different than Eminem, DJ Khaled, or any run-of-the-mill Chinese restaurant owner you'll find in your neighborhood. And the reason why Akon is able to make such a clear distinction between Negroes here in America and his African kinsmen is because he's well aware of the fact that Negroes in America are not African, nor are we of African descent. All people on the planet today must find their origins in one of Noah's 3 sons. And if we take a look in the Bible dictionary at his son Ham, it clearly shows us that Ham is the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians who are African, the Ethiopians who are African, the Libyans who are African, and the Canaanites who are African. I repeat, not the Negroes, because the Negroes are not African. The Negroes are not of the line of Ham. We, the Negroes, are of the line of Shem. We are not Africans. We are Israelites. And Akon's ancestors hunted, captured, and sold our ancestors into slavery. Listen, I have no issue with Akon wanting to love his people and uplift his people. That's perfectly fine. But the very moment you begin to dare think that some Ugandan bush baby has a better stage presence than any black or Hispanic, you might as well take that voodoo dust back to you.
Damn right, damn right. Give that a hand, give that a hand. Yeah, man, we have to constantly educate our people on the differences between us and Africans.
Right.
You know, and it's important that we understand that we're living at a time in which we're living at a time in which, you know, the rest of the world is looking to move away from America, economically specifically. You know, we see that countries don't want to deal with the dollar, and we see that while the United States, you know, spent the last 2 decades bombing every goddamn sand dune they can find in the Middle East, China has risen to a great and powerful economic and industrial power in the world. I read some statistics not too long ago. They said China used more concrete in the last 10 years than the United States used in the entire history of the United States. That's how they're building over there. The amount of cities they're building. Like, China is so modernized and so industrialized and so high tech. And the people there are academically far superior than the people here in the United States. You know? And as a result, they've been able to go into Africa and buy up every goddamn blade of grass and begin to invest in the resources in Africa and begin to prop up the African economy, which would ultimately lead to, you know, prosperity for people in those places. In any time other nations experience prosperity, you know, that only leads to one thing, which is, you know, blacks and Hispanics being pushed further down the trough, you know, with regards to resources and the things that we need for ourselves and our community. It's a horrible thing, man. And so the reason why I bring that out is because if you live here in Harlem, every single goddamn day, you are going to encounter both the Chinese and the African man. And then in your mind, you may, have a distinction between them. You might probably think they don't even talk to each other. The African man is busy being Muslim and bowing his head on every disgusting piece of sidewalk in the city. And the Chinese man is hunting down every goddamn stray cat he can find in an alley to cook it up and make one of his delicacies. So you may think that they don't have much in common. But if you look a little deeper, you will see that the money that the African man takes from you every day in your neighborhood and the money that the Chinese man takes from you every day in your neighborhood is being used to build up one of the great economies of the world. And meanwhile, you are left renting. After you've given the African man and the Chinese man every goddamn dime you can earn, they're going to move out of your neighborhood and move into goddamn Wakanda/Shanghai on the other side of the world, and you're going to be left with goddamn rats in Harlem. Our people have to gather ourselves together. Give me that in Zephaniah. Right. I can't get through one goddamn class without pulling it. Right. We have economic resources. We spend it with the very people looking to destroy us. Right. God damn that Chinese man. Wow. Whenever you got it, sir.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Say it again.
Gather yourselves together.
Economically, say it again.
Gather yourselves together.
Financially, say it again.
Gather yourselves together.
You have to network and fund your funds together. Say it again.
Gather yourselves together.
Get your credit cards together. Say it again.
Gather yourselves together.
Pool your goddamn food stamps together. Say it again.
Gather yourselves together.
Buy one of these broken down stores and fix it up. Say it again.
Gather yourselves together.
Hire your kids and your brother's kids and your neighbor's kids. Give a black man a job. Say it again.
Gather yourselves together.
Get those goddamn heathens out of Harlem. Say it again.
Gather yourselves together.
Snatch that goddamn dirty carpet from under that goddamn Ishmaelite. Say it again.
Gather yourselves together.
We gotta gather ourselves together and leave these disgusting heathens alone.
Right.
They are here to rob us. Under no circumstances do we partake in their inheritance.
Right.
How dare you allow them to in any way take part in ours? Keep going.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
We are the nation that is not desired. We are the nation that's not desired. Have you put in a goddamn job application with the Arabs? Have you applied down at the goddamn African embassy? You done bought every goddamn wooden cutout of the continent of Africa you could buy off of 125th Street. You walk around with 15 goddamn African things around your neck. Why you ain't got a job at the goddamn African embassy? You should have goddamn diplomatic immunity as much as you talk about goddamn Africa. Don't tell me nothing about no goddamn African. Read that second part again.
God. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
They hate our goddamn guts. Africans can't stand you. group of them. They hate your guts. I remember back in the 90s, I used to work in Sylvia's. I was a busboy. That was one of my first jobs I had when I was a young kid. My mother used to work for Sylvia's. Sylvia hired nothing but Africans. Every single goddamn person behind that door cooking is an undocumented African. Like Sylvia is a goddamn, what they call it for the immigrants? I can't even think of the name. For Africans. A goddamn asylum or whatever they call it for Africans. They all back there. I remember one day, man. This was like 90, what year was this? 95, 96. Right here in Harlem, 125th Street. I was working with this kid there. He was a blood. And he was African. He's from Senegal. And he took me with him to sort of like this party or whatever. It's like 100 African bloods in there. Like all of these kids from Africa came over here and started gangbanging, right? Y'all. They found out I wasn't African and got me the hell up out of there. Yeah. You know, like they would have tolerated a goddamn Crip before they tolerate a nigga from the Bronx. Like they're gangbangers. Yet they have a clear understanding of themselves nationally. Right. I was an outsider to them. Every disgusting African should be an outsider to every Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. Right. They are not your goddamn brothers. You know, I don't know who coined the term blackity black. It was Cap, right? Blackity black. The blackity blacks. Blackity black. What that refers to? That refers to one of our brothers, an Israelite brother, who is high on Africa. Right. The white man oppresses us all, man. It's the white versus the dark. They all oppress us. Africans are oppressed. We got to go over there and fight with them. You done lost your goddamn mind. Right. You done lost your goddamn mind. African ain't fighting nothing for you. Like, there was during a time when we was fighting for civil rights in this country, and every single year at the UN, dignitaries would come from Africa, ambassadors would come from Africa. They would all come over to the United States. They would meet with the president. They'll play golf with him in Camp David. They visit the White House press conferences. You look at the UN, it'd be a white man in a suit from France, a white man in a suit from England, a white man in a suit from Israel, a white man in a suit from America, and there's some 500-pound goddamn African wrapped in a goddamn sheet, look like a big ass joint with some weird thing wrapped on his head. Right. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, the Africans put on suits because they want to conform. But back in those days, they came through like King Joffrey Joffa. And at one goddamn time, did one African go out there and say, white man, put that goddamn fire hose down. That's wrong. Wow. Hey, General Shepard, stop biting that black woman's leg off. That's wrong. Not one goddamn African put themselves on the line for our cause. Give me that, don't choose the king who's not from your brothers. What was scripture? Because I got to bring this out. We got 10 minutes left. Now, there is that one African. That one African. Like, let me tell you something. If you was against Africa prior to 2008, You know, if you was a hardcore anti-African prior to 2008, that very first goddamn Obama commercial changed your whole goddamn life. Like, you saw Obama and immediately became pro-African.
Right.
Barack Obama is not our brother.
Right.
His father is from Kenya. His mother is a white woman. His father's the other white meat. And Barack Obama is a goddamn African.
Right.
Now, granted, they did give him a crispy hairline and practice with him hours and hours on end to teach him that cool black man walk and to teach him how to speak in a way that would arise emotions in black people. I'm not going to front, I was one of them. What was that goddamn slogan? Hope? Yes, yes we can, or something weird. You know, like, he was mesmerizing. Mesmerizing. He's a goddamn African.
Right.
It takes that many generations of Africans to get one that could possibly trick us. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was grooming that for centuries.
Right.
So now they finally get Obama in there. Finally get him in there. And we thought he was going to be for black people. We thought he was going to come in and be the black man for the blacks. He's a disgusting African. He's the other white meat. And so he came in and do what all the other white meat do. He gave the banks $1 billion bailout. $100 billion. And before he left, he, of course, gave us the full might of the LGBTQ community. And now he's off into the sunset. Barack Obama's a disgusting African, man. And, you know, I won't be surprised if eventually he's back over there in Africa helping to create policy in every, you know, great thing that they'll go on to do and eventually help to keep us oppressed.
Right.
Like, Barack Obama been out of office now for 2 goddamn presidents. And, you know, what do you get? This is a trick of our oppressor. Like, keep in mind, Bill Clinton had an office right here in Harlem. He might still have an office here in Harlem. You know? Probably done raped every goddamn thing from 110th Street to 135th Street.
Right.
That's how you win over the black community. Just put them in Harlem. They can put the goddamn Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan here in Harlem, and in 2 weeks he'll be working in the goddamn state building as the senator. Why? He was in Harlem. We got to stop allowing these people, man, into our communities and into our culture.
Right.
You can live right next door to an Arabic man. Y'all live in the same exact community. Y'all live in the same exact building. Y'all live on the same exact floor. But y'all are 2 completely different entities.
Right. Right.
You dragging some goddamn Christmas tree up 20 flight of project stairs. He's not doing that. We have to be separate.
Right.
We have to be able to display the power to be able to physically exist among these animals and yet remove ourselves physically, as Salakia, spiritually. Remove ourselves from their customs. Remove ourselves from their ways. Once you remove yourself spiritually and mentally from the heathen, and once you come into the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana and learn the greatness of who you are and who your nation is, then like myself and the officer here and every other priest and officer in this school, you will thumb your nose at a disgusting African every goddamn chance you get. We are simply better than them. We are better than our oppressor. The only way we'll be able to realize that is to remove ourselves from them. It's important, man, that we understand all of these things, man. I'm gonna get up out of here if you don't got anything else, sir.
I got that scripture that you wanted.
Oh, Most High Christ, let's get that.
Salaki, was that Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 15? Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Most High thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren.
Say it again.
One from among thy brethren.
Say it again.
One from among thy brethren.
The Most High God said, when you choose a king, when you choose a president, when you choose an emperor, when you choose the leader of your community, he should be what?
One from among thy brethren.
Not no goddamn African. An African is not one from among our brethren.
Right.
He is not of the 12 tribes of Israel. He's a goddamn Hamite.
Right.
Take a page out of Captain Tazarian's book and deny the African food, deny them attention, deny them access to our culture, our women, our children, our education, deny them your dollar,
right.
Deny them your respect. They are beneath you. We are the chosen people of God,
right.
And we are above these disgusting Africans. That's it for tonight.
Oh,
I
just got one more scripture for you.
No sweat, sir. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 12, verse 10.
Go ahead.
Be kindly affectioned.
Say it again.
Be kindly affectioned.
Say it again.
Be kindly affectioned.
Keep going.
One to another with brotherly love.
Right. Keep going.
And honoring, preferring one another.
Say it again.
And honoring and preferring one another.
You choose your brother over that goddamn African. Say it again.
And honoring, preferring one another.
You eat your goddamn wife, your wife's rice, not that goddamn Chinese man. Say it again.
And honoring, in honor, preferring one another.
That goddamn Arabic man can't make no goddamn chicken. You better call Officer Kashak out in Jersey. Say it again.
And honor, preferring one another.
That goddamn African woman is disgusting. You better find yourself a black or Hispanic or Native American woman. Say it again.
And honor, preferring one another.
That goddamn Chinese man is chopping up cat, rat, and dog. You better find yourself a beautiful black and Hispanic woman and get some goddamn rice and beans and some chicken. Say it again.
And honor, preferring one another.
We gotta prefer one another over those goddamn heathens.
That's right.
We gonna prefer our people over those goddamn heathens.
Right.
Damn those Africans. Once again, we are live. ISUPK headquarters right here in Harlem, New York. I am, of course, the mountain of the Most High Priest and Officer, Haya Allah. I am here with Priest and Officer 500. Show all. Yahweh Shemel Shabaraka, thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shemel Allah, thumb Bahashemi Al Shak to the sisters. And we out of here.